intro. It was very, very impressive. Stunning.
Sorry, I really felt like I had to start with that. He's such a good character in ENA, and like he said, his intro was really cool. Anyways, I'm Katri, and today I'm going to talk about ENA, and how Season 1 has taken the concept of abstraction and has turned it into a masterpiece. I feel like I'm going to look too realistic, so I'm going to change it to my ENA OC. Don't ask me when I made it. It's kind of embarrassing. Now that's better. Also, sorry if any of this starts sounding really weird. I'm really bad at getting points across with words sometimes. Words are hard. I hate abstract art. I hate this, and I hate that. I hate all of these. They are so ugly, and they do not show an artist's true talent. I mean, look at this painting. I went to an art museum, and someone cried at this painting. Literally, how? It's 3 rectangles. I'm all for expressing yourself, but this shows nothing. It's something you'd find in a primary school classroom, not something that's worth thousands of bucks. But ENA. Now that is the way she make abstract art. She's a very clear personality to her that you can tell just by her character design. I mean, you can glean so much by just the way she is made. You can tell she has something different about her just based on her face. So let's have a look at ENA's regular design. She's a half and half split, clearly abstract and out of the norm. I know you're probably wondering, where in the world did Joel G get his inspiration from? No? Well, that's your problem, loser. Anyways, he got his inspiration from the Pablo Picasso painting, A Girl Before a Mirror. Honestly, I don't like the original, but it inspired such a beautiful masterpiece of a character, so I'm really glad Picasso made it. Looking at it, you can see a slight resemblance between the painting and ENA. The split face is about the only similarity between them at face value. Get it? But if we go back and look at the concept of designs for the original ENA, she was white and yellow, which is more similar to the painting. However, it's changed over time to represent her split emotions. Having our main character based on an abstract piece of art, we can tell that the rest of the world and other characters are going to be abstract as well. One of these characters is Mooney, ENA's best friend. She's the only reoccurring character in the series. Well, of course, minus ENA. She's a crescent moon inside of a gray circle with a little square cut out of her to put objects into. Mooney says weird things sometimes, such as this.
That dog looks like he has something to say. If you get what I'm saying.
Wait. No. That was very weird. What is wrong with you?
See? Even ENA agrees with me. Mooney is an overall weird character who is hard to analyze. She's a very good friend to ENA and seems to care about her a lot. Honestly, I strive to have as good of a friendship as ENA and Mooney have. One of my favorite characters in ENA is the Shepherd. We find her on ENA's journey to the Great Ruins. She's built with the almost half and half face with different eye shapes. She speaks Russian, and she is one of 4 other characters that speak a different language other than English. While these other characters don't fit the stereotype of their language, the Shepherd does. She drives a tank, and she's violent. Which is one of the reoccurring things. I know I said there was only one, but this isn't quite a character, it's a little object. But the only time we ever see it is when ENA vomits it up at the end of auction day. But that can lead into a whole other theory. And the Shepherd does a good job at protecting them because she lets them be without any damage, and she lets them go crazy like this little guru. I love him so much, I can watch it for hours. She also works well as a guard, which I would say in general shepherds are. She's supposed to guard people from the runas, which she does really well, and we see that with all the dead bodies lying around. But she makes one exception with a turron, because honestly, anyone can be bribed into doing anything. Especially with a turron. Now, who is the bearer of the turron, and what even is a turron? I don't know what the turron is, but I know who the bearer is. This guy, and this one too. I don't know, he's a master of disguise, and you can tell by the masks. He's another person that doesn't speak English. He's your average salesperson. Well, as average as ENA comes. He sells ENA a turron at the low, low price of 0 units of currency. He's an overall weird character. Really like her. I honestly forgot about her until I was halfway reading my script. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this whole, like, vibe of this little area, so, sorry. So, let's talk about the music. Have you ever thought about what abstract music sounds like? Well, me neither, until I found ENA. I would say that this music is abstract for the current time period. I mean, maybe eventually it'll become the quote-unquote norm in the far future and no longer be abstract, but for now, it is. Here, have a listen. This is the kind of music that gives you a headache, but in a good way. And honestly, there was this one time I was listening to Icosa, which plays in the background of Auction Day, but I was listening to it backwards and with some really low quality headphones, and that stuff gave me a headache, but it was the best headache I've ever experienced. So, I'd say what makes it really abstract, all these musics, is it's full of a bunch of artificial sounds. It's made by a computer. Although, to get off topic a little bit, technically isn't like all music artificial, except for maybe like tribal music because it's made with mostly natural sounds. But if you think about it, most instruments were made by some bending of metal to make some funky shapes to make some wacky sounds, therefore making it artificial. Anyways, back to ENA music. It sounds very weird and strange, but perfectly describes the situation going on, such as the Backroom Labyrinth, which is currently playing in the background. It's composed of very strange sounds that go together and leave you with a feeling of being lost in a maze full of corridors, which perfectly describes what's going on in Extinction Party, because ENA's just going through all these different corridors to try to find her friend Mooney. Another good song that's good at conveying emotion is Dead God Graveyard. It almost doesn't seem like a song, playing the abstraction of things, but I consider it one because the composer, Oliver Buckland, has it on Spotify. This song leaves you with existential dread. It makes you feel like you've messed up and death is looming over your head. I think this describes ENA's situation at the time very well. She just placed a bet with Mooney and was scrambling to fulfill the bet. The timer runs out and everything, including herself, is sucked into this Squid Game looking lady. Especially having a panic attack a few minutes ago, falling into this void-looking area with a pile of dead bodies behind you would leave you with a pretty terrible feeling, and according to the music, that is what ENA is feeling. Now the surroundings. They're whack. Looking at the background of Auction Day, the background is pretty simple. Some gravestones, clouds, a thing that the auctioneer stands on. Despite being really simple, it describes the environment very well. It's plain and doesn't give you much information to glean from, symbolizing the majority of ENA Season 1. We go through ENA's journeys with very little to understand why, how, or what. The majority of it is loosely strung together events that make an easy-to-follow story, all while being a confusing one as well. Extinction Party's surroundings feel like one big fever dream. It heavily reminds me of some dreams of video games I've had in the past. These dreams feel like they were made as a secret Easter egg in the game that I just discovered. It feels so personal yet so distorted. I feel like Extinction Party perfectly encompasses this feeling, especially this part. I really like how this part says nothing, but if you really want to find out meaning behind it, you can, just like you can in a normal abstract painting though. To me though, they're somewhat human-like figures that are just standing there with portals beside them. They give off villainous vibes. If I were in this place during a dream, I would definitely try to avoid them, similarly to what ENA does. Well, she ignores them, but that's a form of avoidance. Overall, The whole season 1 of ENA is definitely one big great roller coaster of abstraction. There are many things that just don't make sense. Like as shown earlier, what even is a torron? And why does everyone like it? It leaves a lot of empty spaces like that for the viewer to devise their own theories. And that's definitely why it's my favorite series that I've ever watched. Oh, and if you didn't know, they're coming out with a game for Season 2 instead of animated videos, and I'm super excited, and I'm hoping it's released by the time I'm done editing this video, but it's not looking like it right now, but if it has come out, you should definitely go and play it. It'll be on Steam.